What's up, guys? Daemonxel back again with another Eve Echoes Community News Update where we take a deep dive in all the happenings of the weekend. We got a lot to talk about this week. That's right. Everything from, BTown giving off, corpse secrets of Adam to the big bot debate and the pissing match between Taylor Rick and Vetemune. But before that, we are going to dive into the patch notes because we have a big update coming out and a lot of adjustments being made to the game. Now, there'll be a description in the description below. There'll be a link. So if you want to bypass the patch notes, you can just go right to the community notes, news, and vice versa, like I used to do in the old videos. So we're going to start doing that again, putting out one big video with everything encompassing it. So let's talk about it. Alright, so before we talk about it, you guys know exactly what I'm going to do. That's right. I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and tag that subscribe button, ring that bell, share and like the video. This way you can stay up to date with everything I do here on the channel. Whether it be Eve Echoes or any of the other games I play, such as Soul Leveling or any games that are going to be coming out in the future. We're going to be covering everything here on this channel. And I thank you guys, even though if you don't support the content that I'm putting out for the other games, I do still appreciate the support you guys give me for covering Eve Echoes and the games that you guys do like. So, let's dive right into the patch notes right here. Alright, let's go on the other side. There we go. This way it makes it a little bit easier. Okay. So, this is going to happen tonight at 0800 UTC plus 0 on the 11th. Well, that's tomorrow, really. But, we'll see what time this video actually goes live, right? This is my second time recording it because I lost the first 30 minutes due to a glitch. NetEase must have gotten in and gotten into my software. But, let's go ahead and do this. So, we have balance adjustments to ships. We have industrial ships first. So 3 industrial modules have been moved from the low slots to the mid slots. And there's also changes to those modules as well. The industrial command module, they reduced the power grid by 20%. They increased the drone mining bonus from 225% up to 240%. On the enhanced industrial enhanced module, they reduced the power grid by 10%. On the industrial core module, they also reduced the power grid requirement by 10%. On the industrial core module, they reduced the power grid by 10%, the activation time by 16.7%, and the fuel consumption by 16.7% as well. On the expert industrial command, they increased the bonus of the drone mining amount, the damage, and the effective defense for all mining foreman modules, from 5% up to 10%. Now, they also changed the Orca. The Orca gains a mid slot. The Rorqual will also gain a mid slot. The Noctis and the Noctis 2, they changed the advanced skill bonus, so they no longer require expert skills for the auto salvager. They also increased the base range from 10, 12 and a half, 15% kilometers to 12, 15, and 18 kilometers. Now, they also made changes to modules. The repair tactical module, they removed that negative 20% damage penalty. They also reduced the cap recharge time penalty from 20% down to 10%. They also increased the shield recharge and armor repair bonuses from 20 up to 50%. And they also adjusted the velocity ship penalty from negative 20% to negative 25%. On the sniping tactical module, they adjusted the damage bonus and the scan resolution bonus from the base values of 25% up to a final value of 25%. The rapid firing tactical module, they adjusted the scan resolution from a base value of 120%, which I guess this means it was a bug, to a final value of 25%, but they also did tracking speed base value of 20% to a final value of 20%. Energy cap NOS, they increased the energy transfer effect from 17.5 to with a range of 17 to 25%. It increases with the meta level. And the capital energy newt, they also did the same thing, increased the neutralization effect by 14 to 27%. The damage control, they removed all the tech restrictions on damage controls. The all lasers, railguns, cannons, missiles. They removed the tech restrictions off of those as well. On the capital emergency hull energizer. They increased the passive armor resistance from 15% to 20%, and the hull resistance from 15 to 25%. Now, when activated, it cannot be shut down no longer by the support projection jamming, and they remove the sensor strength bonus of armor plates and titanium ally armor. The attack restriction was removed and reduced the cap consumption of approximately 25%. Now, this varies on the models that you are using. Alright, we have ship adjustments as well. The 4 models of the Cruiser 2s, they have all had their shield recharge time reduced to 900 seconds, and they gained a new bonus. Negative 37.5 signature radius penalty for warp drives, and the faction-specific resistance bonuses are now base bonuses and no longer require skill training for those. Skill training. The Omen 2, they adjusted the medium laser activation time bonus from negative 6% to negative 5%, the cap consumption from negative 12% to negative 10%, and they replaced the negative 5% inertia modifier with plus 5 laser damage and plus 10% laser range per level. On the Caracal 2, they adjusted the medium missile and torpedo activation time bonus from negative 6 to negative 5%. They also replaced the ship velocity from 5% with missile flight time 5% and missile damage 5% per level. On the Vexor 2, they adjusted the drone damage bonus from 25 to 30%. They replaced the negative 5 inertia modifier with drone velocity plus 5% and drone tracking speed plus 5% per level. The Stabber 2, they adjusted the medium cannon activation time bonus from negative 6 to negative 5%. They replaced the flight velocity plus 5% with medium cannon damage 5% and shield boost effect 7.5% per level. On the Synesis, they reduced the shield recharge to 750, and they also reduced the insurance points by 12.1%. The Gnosis, the shield recharge is now 1050 seconds, with a reduction in the insurance by 15.6%, and the Praxis gains a high spot. Also, the shield recharge time is 1200 seconds. They also reduce that insurance points by 20%. The Praxis 2 shield recharge is 1200 seconds again. They increased the missile and turret damage from 60% all the way up to 100%. The drone damage from 100 to 150%. They gain base flight velocity 25% and scan resolution 25%, and they removed all additional bonuses from training skills. They also reduced that insurance claim points by 30%. On the Lucent Moon, it got a new bonus. Plus 60 seconds activation time for the Capital Emergency Hull Energizer. The Cobra gains a mid slot. They also increased the drone damage, the large drone damage, from 13% up to 15%. The Annihilator gained a mid slot. The Marzio gained a mid slot and a new bonus of negative 100% cloaking locking delay. And the Azrael reverted the ship trait adjustment and reduced the armor plate bonus from 75% to 50%. It also gained a new bonus, which is entangling beam range plus 20% per level. Now, they didn't stop there. They also changed implants. That's right. The Barrage Repression, the reload time for the ammo is now shortened with implant levels. It went from an initial 30 seconds to 25.5 seconds at max level. The Repression mode increased the base tracking speed bonus from 12.5% to 25%. The reload reinforcement unit, after triggering the continuous loading, it now goes from 3 to 4. On the sniping technology, they increased the passive tracking speed bonus from 24% up to 30%, the passive damage bonus from 12% to 15%, and they reduced the base activation time from 5.5 seconds down to 4.6 seconds. They also remained unchanged at 1 second at max level. They also reduced the basic cooldown time from 90 seconds down to 60 seconds, so a 30-second change right there. On the Warhead Charge, they extended the, on the range extending Warhead, they adjusted the flight time bonus from 30% up to 37.5% at max level. The 4 types of attack warheads, they increased the damage bonuses from 400 to 425%. On the reinforcement unit, they did a velocity bonus from the ranges of 2% and 10% up to 3% and 15%. On support projection, They extended on the range extending warhead, they adjusted the flight time bonus from 30% to 37.5%. On the firepower support warhead, the adjusted damage bonus from 12% to now a range of 12% to 21%. On the EM warhead, they reduced the penalty from negative 20% down to negative 15%. On the EM warhead, they also adjusted the damage penalty from the ranges of negative 35% and negative 27.5% down to negative 20% and negative 11%. They also reduced the capacitor damage ratio from 20% down to 15%. The electronics reinforcement unit, they increased the ECM change from that range of 0.2% to 1% to a now 0.3% up to 1.5%. On the tactical missile, bear with me, guys. We're almost through all of this. I know. Thank you for sticking with me for this long. We're almost through all of this. The tactical missile, the passive damage is now up from 50 to 60%. On automatic defense, they adjusted the activation time, restart time from 30 to 60 seconds to now 45 and 45. On the efficiency, efficiency reinforcement unit, the skill activation time and the effect cooldown time bonuses between negative 2 and negative 10% seconds is now negative 3 and negative 15 seconds. Alright, they changed some skills. So the combat skills that you need for frigates, destroyers, cruisers have all been adjusted to trainable without tech level restrictions. Same with skills like ship operation, defense upgrades, engineering, small weapons, medium weapons, shield hardening, and armor hardening. The Cavala Expanse, they changed this, so you will no longer be able to make fleets in any form inside that region. So you can't be part of a fleet. Also, everyone's name will no longer be shown in public local within the region. It will now be shown as unknown capsuleer in the overview. So yes, if you're going up there as a fleet, use voice comms. Know what each other is flying so you don't end up killing each other. Alright. Faction Warfare. We have the new event starting. It's the Relic Scramble. Now, up to this point, you were able to join any of the militias. That was the event that was going on now. On the 11th, the fighting will actually commence. So, you can still join the militia. That was just a pre-loading up time. Now, there are some changes. I'm going to skip around a little bit here. Now, this event is going to be long-term. They don't have an end date in sight. If you decide to change from any of the factions, you will lose your rank, and you will be able to gain additional ranks from killing other capsuleers from opposite factions, as well as sleepers within the war zones. Now, when you're killing these sleepers and other pilots, you're going to not only earn merits, but also LP to be used in the LP store. Now, they are revamping, I think they're revamping the LP store, adding new items in, or they're giving us a whole new store. I do not know. I won't know until it goes live. As you guys know, I'm no longer part of the official content creator program, so I have no other knowledge beforehand of what's going on. Also, when you'll be able to see in your star charts which systems are at war. It's a low-sec system, so all this is going to be done in low-sec. You will not be killed by Concord. I don't know if you can fight anywhere, right? Or if it's only in these sites. It says we're going to go to exploring now. Most of these sites are going to show up on your overview, right? Whether it be large, small, or medium sites, they're going to be relic sites. But you will also be able to find some through scanning that will not show up on the overview. So you scanners out there, you will be able to go in there, scan, and use your use the collection stations in there to get your LP points that way as well for the data collection. Now, raising through the ranks, you do this by, again, killing sweepers, killing other capsuleers, other factions. Now, there are some caveats to this. One, both people who are fighting are going to get points for the fight. However, whoever gets the killing blow is going to get more points awarded to them. And if the person you are fighting is three or more levels out of your range, in other words, if I'm level 1 and you're level 4, you're not going to get any points for killing me. I'm not going to get any points for killing you. And I don't know if they're going to show up in the UI what rank you are when you are fighting. If it does, it will help us, but you're not going to be getting anything for killing anyone outside of your level range other than the satisfaction that you killed them. So again, we talked about Concord, not concording you when you kill these people. However, if you kill someone of the same faction, there are heavy, heavy penalties. Concord will kill you. That's one. You will get a warning and a timer penalty, and you will also lose double the merit points for killing someone in your faction. So don't do it. All right, you're going to end up screwing yourself over in the long run, so don't do it. Also, those who are partaking in this and killing and losing ships this way, you're going to have insurance discounts as well. You're going to get 75% for regular ships and 25% for capital ships. So there's a nice little, discount on that. Okay, it says here, after joining militia, they may be attacked by other militias in citizen war, and Concord will not prevent such combat. So this will also disregard the Capsule's corporation standing with alliances. So if you don't want to kill, that felt good. If you don't want to, it's still considered blue on blue, but I would check with your CEOs and your alliance mandates when this comes out, so that you aren't just making a headache for your alliance. All right. It doesn't really tell us much about the military, the militia supply store, other than it's going to have, faction modules, blueprints, and materials in it. We don't know anything else. Another big thing, the voyage ceremony recording. Since there was no actual voyage ceremony, right? What they're doing is they're going to take highlights from everything. They're going to make basically a highlight reel, and they're going to distribute it to what they say is the relevant websites. So basically their Discord and their website, and they're probably going to shoot it out to their content creators, hoping that their content creators will show it. So this was just this year has just been a basic fail in that whole voyage ceremony. We're not going to go into the optimizations, but it goes into the moon mining. Let's see, heat sinks damages. You guys can read this on your own. And also, there's so many bugs. You know me, I stopped reading bugs a while ago. So that is everything that we have to do with the game news, except for one thing. Just so you guys know, when you are doing faction warfare, there I am. That's right, I am on Galante's side. So I hope to see you guys on the battlefield, on the grid. So we will see what happens. So let's get into our community news, and boy, do we have a lot of stuff. Let's start off with BTown, right? So BTown went on the Echoes of New Eden podcast this past weekend, and basically, long story short, talked about why he did everything. I'm going to sum it up in one phrase: he had 0 Fs to give. Basically, is what it boiled down to. All right, so coming off of that, I'm pretty sure the Demon 716, I think that may be BTown, but this is all information gathered by BTown that was put out there. At least that's what it was stated on the show. So basically, this is basically all of Adam's information, right? All the sites that in Adam's space where they spawn their capital sites, the fact that their multi-boxers aren't very good at defense and can't defend themselves when merging. Basically, also the what they're running in their passes. It says here, check all Anastabux gates for haulers between systems. They'll be hauling capital parts. Also, listing of all their super pilots, their names, the account numbers, just a lot of information, including like fits. Just a lot of information here. So if you guys want to check it out, you can check it out. Those who want to pursue this with nefarious reasons, there's all your info, especially those on the hunt. I guess Adam is going to have to step up defense now with this. So Space Cows may be a little bit more on alert now that this story is out there. But even with that information, you may be thinking to yourself, well, it's just another story of, the bad guy winning. Now, I'm not taking sides. I don't mean by, calling him a bad guy. I'm just saying, putting yourself in the shoes of an Adam pilot, looking at that person as he's the bad guy for ripping us off and everything. Karma is a sweet mistress, right? And I'm not really saying that Adam got their pound of flesh. It's not really even a pound, maybe an ounce. But as you will see from this screenshot, they did catch him in one of those stolen Lancers. That's right, it's 139.6 billion kill mail BTown was killed by Sniper Wolf, Sepulchre, and other members of the Space Cows. I guess he was either, fucking around trying to find out, or trying to excavate or evac this Lancer, or just having fun. I don't know. Either way, I guess you can't really call it a loss because he stole it. But yeah, I guess it makes the Atom guys feel better a little bit that, they'd rather destroy it than have them fly it, right? But that comeuppance. That did happen. So, with that being said, we will now turn to the biggest story of the week. And that is the pissing contest and back and forth between what started off as, a PvP session, has now turned into Venomune versus Taylor Rick, Kraken AOA versus the Silent Federation in now a botting war kind of words. Now, there is many different layers to this story, but let's start off with the obvious of what exactly happened, what transpired to kick us down the road to what we are now facing. So this is the video that started it all off. Now, as we watch this, you're going to notice it's basically a regular PvP. It is from the point of view of Venomune flying his RB Hictor, and he finds a Heron Covert Ops, which he's going to lock up and then bubble. Let's take a look at it. So there's the Covert Ops. He targets him. He's going to throw his bubble up. And then comes an Interceptor. Locks down. And as we see, here comes additional Interceptors all warping in. And then he states that this is fraudulent right here. They're all going to lock him up at the same exact time. And they all just fight him. Now, he fights off, he kills several of them, but he does end up dying. He lost, and therefore he sent this footage to Arrow, stating that, they are multi-bots. They are scripting. They are running bots to do this. Now, myself, I know many other people, and probably anyone that's watching this over the last 4 years, you probably know someone that has botted or been in a corporation or alliance that's botting. Botting is bad. And I even state the legal botting sponsored by NetEase with their AI course. That's bad. All forms of botting and scripting is wrong. But there was a video breakdown that Taylor put out, which we will be getting to. Now, let's just focus on what he did with this footage. He has a conversation with Arrow, and then basically points out all of the users who were on the kill mail. He looks up the player ID, and basically forwards it to Arrow with the video, saying that, hey, this is botting, this is scripting. And then we get the canned response from Arrow. Now, over the period when this was submitted, I forget when, I think this was like about 5 days ago. And then a message came out yesterday on the 9th, basically stating that, thank you for contacting us. After review, the account you report has been found to engage in misconduct and has received appropriate punishment. Thank you for helping us provide a fair, positive gaming environment for all players. And it goes further on and further on. So, Venomune takes a victory lap. Basically saying, checkmate, I win. This proves that Silent is all botters, all cheaters, everyone that belongs over there, they're all cheating. The statement that Silent Federation has put out, and which they have followed, from what I was told, is that any member within the Silent Federation who is found cheating, who is found botting an account up for suspension, if it's suspended or banned from NetEase, will get immediately excommunicated, kicked out of Silent Federation, along with any alts that they may have within the organization. This being said, KB Games did get a mail from them saying that they did find him not in botting. Now, you guys have to remember that NetEase has tools, right? They have all these tools to find out exactly what's going on within their game. They used to put out these graphics saying that, hey, look, we've banned 16,000 accounts who were botting and running scripts and everything else. KB Games got fined. He was not banned. He was not removed. He was not suspended. He was fined $10 billion per account that was logged in, because what they did was they found out that all of these accounts were coming from the same IP range. Now, if you're playing on, say, BlueStacks, which you shouldn't do, first of all, because BlueStacks is crap. And I say this because I'm pissed off at BlueStacks because it doesn't work on my machine anymore. I'm going to have to go over to LD Player so I can start using that. I digress. But if you're running all these instances on your PC, it's going to come back as one IP address, the device that you're using. If you're looking at MAC addresses, it's going to come back as one MAC address. Now, if you were playing on several devices, say 2 tablets, a PC, maybe a couple phones, they will have different MAC addresses. However, they will be in the same IP range that we're seeing coming from the same source from your provider, your internet provider. And this thread has 262 replies on this. Now, this was 3 days ago, right? This then spawned so many memes, so many different things. So it's turned out bigger now. It's now everyone who is against Silent Federation, against Silent Federation. So basically, all of Silent Fed is now protecting cheaters. Oh, they are so quiet now when one of theirs is found out. Yet they were so vocal when they find others cheating, someone from AOA. Which, yes, AOA has scripters. Hell, Kraken has scripters, Void has scripters. Every organization out there, someone behind the scenes is running a bot. They have to be found. And to act as if, oh no, that doesn't happen in our house, that is just being naive. So this spawned so many different arguments, so many different memes, right? Going back and forth from both sides now, right? And this was Venomune's checkmate post right here, right? And this is the same thing that we showed before. Now, with this, right, it now escalated because now Taylor Rick posted out this right here, the breakdown, right? And in this video, it's a 10-minute video, so I'm not going to play it here. I will put a link to it in the description below so you guys can watch it if you are interested in exactly what Taylor says. And he goes through the same thing about, Silent Fed, if they found cheating, they will get rid of them, all this stuff. But also calling out Venomune because what the person got fined for is multi-boxing accounts, which Venomune does. He has his RB character and his other character. So is the pot literally calling the kettle black? Any multi-boxer can be fined. If they're looked at with the tools that Ninnies has, they will be found the same way and then also fined the same way. If you are running multiple accounts through the same IP address, you are, in fact, by these terms, cheating. Now, I'm not trumpeting, I am not trumpeting for either side. I'm pointing out both facts. Yes, the Fed is going hard on this, and they are backing up what they're saying. Venomune is backing up what he is saying. But let's look at the people as well. Now, this post came out as well, and these are a bunch of things that Venomune has said behind the curtains on different Discords and everything else. So, he is not a white knight. And now, I'm not using this to belittle Venomune or anything else. However, you need to defend your point. Now, I also know that he has been invited, because I do help Rambo and Taylor Rick with the Echoes of New Eden podcast. And for all of those who believe that it is, silent propaganda, there are other people involved in this who are not belonging to Silent Federation. You have OC Can't Stop, who is with Pravi. You have Stony, who's going to be joining the panel with the Space Cows. You have Jubileus, who is with Kraken. It's just a podcast talking about the game, not from anyone's point of view, but it is opinionated. It is an opinion. It's not like, oh, this is a cold fact news story. That podcast is everyone's feelings, well, not feelings, but their opinions on everything that's going on. Whether your opinion is with Silent Federation, whether your opinion is with another organization, it does not matter. That's what the show is. And Venomune has repeatedly refused to come on the show to defend his points of view. He's even been offered for him to come on without Taylor being there. He's refused to be there. Hell, Benzie, Taylor Rick was one of the biggest outspoken critics of Benzie. Benzie still had the balls to show up on the show to defend his point of view. So come on the show, Venomune, defend your point of view. Now, because of everything that did happen, this goes now another level, which just happened in the last several hours, that says, I have sources who are still with the content program, who still have access to that section. I am no longer an official content creator, so I can say whatever I want without being, held liable to any kind of agreement with NetEase or any other content creator that is there. And for those of you wondering, no, it is not Taylor Rick, it is not Rambo. I don't even think Rambo has access anymore. There are other content creators who haven't put out content in months, in years, right? Who still have access to that, who I still talk to, right? Now, they did not give me the screenshot because I do not, which one of the reasons why I was kicked out of the program was because I gave a look behind the curtain of the CC chat. So, in this conversation is Venomune calling for the expulsion of another content creator because he wants to know, is it in the NDA or in any kind of agreement that content creators can't put out content against other content creators? Come on the show and defend your point of view. Say what you have to say. Or hell, come on by, give me a and we will do a live interview, you and I, if you want. Right? I invite Venomune on to my show, and we could talk here, if you like. But defend your point of view, my guy. I just find it funny, escalating a PvP scenario to this point of trying to go against other content creators is just a little asinine. Oh, and for the record, right, this is the screenshot from KB Games that he received. It says, "Greeting pilot system has detected that you were using a tool to simulate the operations of a real player. Please note that this behavior has violated our EULA 3.3.3. And as a result, we have to deduct according ISK from your account. If this behavior is detected again, we may impose further penalties, including permanent account banning." This is simulating another player. So I'm multi-boxing. That's what this is. It's not scripting. It's not botting. It is using multiple accounts as one player. Hell, people do it all the time in PvE. Now, initially, these fines went out to all of KB's alts that were online at the time. However, they've been rolled back to only the alts who were in the altercation with Venomune. So the alts that were in Jita, doing trading or whatever they were doing in Jita, did not get fined. So, are we all cheaters now? Or, I don't know where to move forward from here. But this is the story and where it has escalated to at this point. And I guess we'll have to see in the next few days where it goes from here. We were talking about the voyage ceremony. And because of the blunder that NetEase has done with their voyage ceremony, yes, this is going to roll into Echoes of New Eden. The content creators at Echoes of New Eden, specifically Taylor Rick, has put together a fan base, a player base, and parade, basically a voyage ceremony. Now, this is brought to you by Echoes of New Eden podcast, and basically the ceremony will start in Jita at the main monument. The host will then read a short script about each corporation that joins, and all the corporate fleets will then autopilot to Tama for a huge battle royale. It says the last corporation standing wins. They will have prizes and duo Omegos to give away. I do not know what the prizes are, how much ISK is involved. Do not bring your most expensive ship only to see it blow up. But it should be a lot of fun. And this is happening on the next show, September 15th, this Sunday, at 3 p.m. Eastern, my time. I don't know what it is your time, but it's at 3 p.m. Eastern, Eastern Standard Time. So, that's what we have for you. I hope you enjoyed this. Yes, I may have gotten a little opinionated. I have butted heads with Vetemune a few times over the years, but I really have no skin in this game anymore. You guys see me, I'm not really in the game that often. I will be now with Faction Warfare. You will see me on that grid and playing in the war zone. So if you do want to see me in game, you will most likely see me in these war zones. Not so much in null space, but in these war zones, because this is actually getting me wanting to actually play the game again hardcore. So, I hope you found this entertaining, informative, all that good stuff. And until I talk to you guys again, have a great week, have a great weekend, adventure safe, and here on this channel, we are always one vision, one purpose, one front. See you guys in the next episode.